A little bit of review today, guys. We're going over systems of equations in two variables. This is something you've done before. Now remember, it's called a system because we have more than one equation. And of course, our two variables here are the x and the y. Okay? Now remember, there are two different ways to solve a system of equations. The first way is the substitution method, and the second way is the elimination method. We'll start with the substitution method. Take a look at this problem. We can note that y is equal to all of this. 2x plus 3 is the same thing as y. And up here we have another y right here. So what we do for the substitution method is we substitute that in. I can rewrite this then as 5x minus 2 and our substituted 2x plus 3 equals 5. Same equation as up here, but we're substituting our second equation in for y. Now we just have one variable. We can solve that really easily. Okay? 5x minus 4x minus 6 equals 5. So what we did there, we had the distribution of negative 2. Next step, we can say x minus 6 equals 5. And lastly, x equals 11. Half of our answer already. Now all we need is the y variable. We can take this and plug it into either of these equations. Both work. I'm going to do this one because it looks a little bit easier. So we have y is equal to 2. And so here we're plugging in our 11 for x plus 3. So y is equal to 22 plus 3. Y is equal to 25. That's our solution. Now it's always good to double check our answers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take both of these values and I'll plug them into the other equation that we haven't used yet. We'll check our answers in a different color. So if we do 5 times 11 minus 2 times 25 equals 5. It's a little bit tight there. Okay, 5 times 11, 55. 2 times 25 is 50. We're left with 5 equals 5. So we're good to go. Now we can write our answer as a y and an x, or we can write it as a coordinate point. 11, 25. That's the solution to this system of equations by the substitution method. A few things to remember. You always want to plug in for one variable, and you always want your parentheses here. If you don't put your parentheses, you might mess something up like distributing a negative. It's easy to do. Everyone does it. But that's the substitution method. All right, now let's take a look at the elimination method. The goal of the elimination method is to add together your two equations in order to eliminate one of the variables. Now let's take a look at these two equations. We have a 10 and a negative 5 by our x, a 7 and a negative 3 by our y's. These are our two variables. If we add these together, neither one's going to get eliminated. So I'm going to do a little bit of manipulation first. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation times 2. Okay? Now let me rewrite this down here. Top equation stays the same. 10x plus 7y equals negative 9. The bottom equation then turns into negative 10x minus 6y equals 12. Okay, now if we add these two together, guess what? Our x's will become eliminated. So let's write it out. We've got our first equation, and we're going to add that to our second equation. 10 minus 10, no x. 7 minus 6, we have a y. Negative 9 plus 12, y equals 3. Have our answer already. Okay, same as the last time. We find the next variable by plugging this into one of our above equations. I'll plug it into the second one. So we have negative 5x minus 3. Now we're plugging in our y, which is also a 3, is equal to 6. All right? Negative 5x minus 9 equals 6. Negative 5x equals 15. Divide both sides by 5 and we get x is equal to negative 3. So we have negative 3 and 3. Now, same as before, let's check our answer. I'll do that in pink again. Already used the bottom equation, so we'll plug them both into this top equation, see if we get the same thing. Okay, so we have 10 times negative 3 plus 7 times 3 equals negative 9. So we have negative 30 plus 21 equals negative 9. Negative 9 equals negative 9. We're good to go. All right, now that we know this works, again, we can write our solution as x and y, or preferably, we can put it in coordinate form. Negative 3, comma 3. That's our answer. Now, things to remember with the elimination method. Always, when you're setting up the equations, write them so the x variables are in line with each other. The y variables are in line with each other. And then your remaining coefficient is on the other side of the equal sign. In other words, put them in standard form. That way, when you're eliminating, you don't have to swap things around and it doesn't get all confusing. All right, that's it. Now for homework tonight, there will be two problems, two system of equations. All you have to do is choose one of them and then use either the elimination method or the substitution method that we did earlier. Take your pick on the problem, take your pick on the method. As long as you do it, you show your work, check your answer, and then bring it into class tomorrow morning. Make sure you have it ready at the beginning of class. That's it. See you then.